Welcome back to the APP Sunmed Sacramento Open on this Saturday. The crowds are out. The heat not deterring pickleball fans here in Northern California, and nor should it, because we have had just as hot of action on the court as we have had temperatures in the air, and we're expecting the same thing here in this women's doubles match between Alix Truong, who you see on your screen here, and then Shelby Bates is her partner, both of them wearing black and pink. And then they are going against Lee Whitwell and Kady Pooler. Kady Pooler there in the visor at the bottom, or excuse me, top left of your screen. She's playing with Lee Whitwell, who of course fan favorite here in the pickleball community. And these two are quite the characters, let me tell you, because I was talking to them before the match, and I was like, so, how'd you guys meet? And Lee told me that she put an ad out on Craigslist for Kady Pooler to answer to be a pickleball partner, and then immediately she said, just kidding, that's not what happened. So these two certainly know how to have fun within the game and looking to do that, but make no mistake, they are competitive as well. So taking on Shelby Bates and Alix Truong. Truong and Bates winning in straight sets in their first match to get here, but it was not an easy task. They won 13-11 their first game, and then 11-5 their second one. Pooler and Whitwell with a little bit easier time in their first match. They won in straight sets as well, 4-7. But the heat certainly going to be something we are talking about today, how these players manage it. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys, obviously in Naples last week, a lot of these players were there. It was 90 degrees in Florida, but like I mentioned, 90 degrees Florida, 90 degrees California, very different. What does it do to the ball?
Well, so we're actually playing with a different ball at the U.S. Open with the Franklin X40 compared to the Durafast 40 here. So in any hot conditions, right, the ball becomes softer and plays a little bit slower. So it's a big transition, one, from those that played it in the U.S. Open last week to going to the Dura this week. But then the Dura is playing a lot different than what we typically see at Dura as well because of these warmer conditions. The ball's staying down. It's playing a little heavier. So that was one of the things that a lot of the players discussed on Wednesday and Thursday when they're out here doing, getting some play and some drilling in just to get used to the conditions in the ball.
We are underway here on Championship Court. Shelby Bates and Alix Truong winning the first point and the second.
And there's the first fist bump from Shelby Bates. But last week at the U.S. Open we had a lot of cramping in the Pro Players Club. We actually had IVs in there for the players to get their fluids back in. So it is tough in these hotter conditions when you're out on a hard court and it's probably 10 to 15 degrees hotter on the court than what it is actual air temperature.
Air temperature we're expecting to be around 89 today.
Oh, Pooler turns around and she's smiling because she's like, I was on that forehand right there. And she was, but got jammed up just enough.
Little misstep there from Bates, threw off the timing of that backhand. And that's part of what we talked about is being successful at that slower game is the footwork and getting yourself in positioning. That ball, that was going wide.
Pooler finding just that corner of the outline and the kitchen line. Bates could not return it, so it's going to be Lee Whitwell getting ready to serve here.
Oh, Whitwell was a flash coming across.
And with the curtsy to finish things off.
Well, she was coming in hot here in the middle.
I've never seen Lee move that fast, except when she's running through the kitchen for the Whitwell Ernie.
It was a nice move right there, but just kept low enough.
Awesome confusion. Whitwell.
No, the referee's incorrect. She thought that Lee Whitwell's ball was in, and it was a point, and it was out. So she called wrong server, but it was only because she had assumed that ball was in.
Well, when you curtsy after a point, it's fair to think that went well for you. that one did, in fact, go well for Pooler and Whitwell.
Yeah, but again, that ball didn't come up there. It's part of the warmer climate, warmer temperatures affecting the bounce of the ball. Oh, it was a good move by Whitwell, but she didn't know what to do once she got there. Just popped that ball up.
She just said that to herself, too.
Lee and I are like, we're telepathic in that sense. Lee and I, we've known each other for a number of years.
Pooler just cannot get that one up and over the net.
So I was watching Truong and Bates in their first matchup, and they won 13-11 in game one, but they were down 10-5. Came all the way back to win that one and figured out what they needed to do. They slowed the ball down. I think that's exactly what they need to do here against Pooler and Whitwell. Slow the ball down, wait for the right opportunity. You're seeing Pooler and Whitwell try and speed this up and want a little more pace to this game.
Like I mentioned, this is Bates and Truong's first time playing together in women's doubles in an APP tournament. It's a little bit of a feeling out process for the two very good friends.
Oh, she got... What?
That ball just wide.
They just called a serve out? Is that what Lee called out?
This ball's coming back to Pooler and Whitwell. 1-3-1. Your score here on Championship Court in game one.
Yeah, that's good. Good move there from Whitwell. She stayed more under control body-wise on that one.
You watch her step in here, and again, it's the lefty in the middle, too, makes that such a much easier ball as opposed to it being her backhand if he was righty. Pooler tried to sell it.
Just wide, yeah, she did try to sell it, but not fooled for Alix Truong and Shelby Bates.
Yeah, good spot there from Bates. That's one of the things with Whitwell. You can catch her in that transition area with the feet still moving.
3, 2, 1.
That's a tough ball there from Truong as she's on full movement too, and the ball's on her shoe tops trying to speed that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good drive, but it's something she's got to drop off there, right?
That one just painting the line for Alix Truong.
It's a good adjustment here from the last point here. Watch, she'll let this ball bounce now, plays it from a good position, and just flips that with the two-hander down the line.
And the energy, she told me that she was going to bring the energy she wanted the Warriors to have last night. I see that.
Who's she looking at? Because she was mean mugging somebody back here in the
whoever's in her way.
Pro lounge.
Doesn't matter. But I'm all for that. I like that, right?
100%.
Turn your back to the court, do it back toward the fans. Fantastic. Don't do it toward your opponents.
The unwritten rules of pickleball. Bates speeding that one up, but Whitwell's defense well done, and Truong sends her response long.
Well, I don't mind the speed up there from Bates, but the next ball after that, okay, the speed up didn't work. Now let's get right back into it. Let's work something else.
Yeah, good reset there from Bates. Got that ball down. Poole is still moving pretty quickly on that one, anticipating the ball popping up.
4, 3, 1. Point.
Pooler leaving that response to the serve just a bit short.
Well, she's trying to run cross as she's hitting because they're uncoiling on the stack. And instead of hitting it first and running second, tries to do both at the same time, runs into some issues.
Not sure why Bates hung back on that one. Kind of set off the whole tone there, where she was out of position. Tough to catch up with the footwork.
Wow. From Kady Pooler.
Perfect execution there from Pooler. You'll watch it here as that ball goes out wide. She just lets it develop, get around that post, and goes right at the right shoe of Alix Truong.
She kept that as close to the post as you could right there, getting that inside.
That backhand, though, just not enough to go over the net.
Yeah, tried to do just a little too much on the cut right there. The ball was very tight to the net. That's a ball where I'm just going to want to just flip that back over. Let's get into the next shot there.
I think Pooler's got a little cheering squad back here behind us. That's who she's looking at when she turns around.
Don't give him a dirty look. Start mean mugging you, too.
I get plenty of mean mugs. Smart there from Truong. She took the pace off of it, made it look like she was going to attack Whitwell into the body. Slowed that little roll down, forced the pop-up. Alix Truong, go.
Again, nice, short, sweet, keeping that ball out in front, not trying to do too much with it. Eventually gets the ball outside of the reach of Whitwell. And a big finish there for Truong.
Nuts.
That back line.
Yeah, not so good of a move there from Truong on that one. Didn't fully commit to it. Just left that sideline completely open.
Side out here for Pooler and Whitwell. They're going to be serving 3-7-1. Pausing for a moment, though, for Alix to retie her shoes. Pooler, a mom of two. She lives in Oakland, just about an hour and a half drive from where we are here in Sacramento. She's got two kiddos, and her son is very into monster trucks. So if you see her adjusting the necklace on her,
she's got a monster truck on her.
Got a little monster truck charm.
An hour and a half in good traffic. Let's put it that way.
California, you always must consider traffic. That's fair. 90 miles-ish. How about that?
Yeah.
Two great speed ups there from Whitwell. First one gets blocked back over, but that second one a little inside out to the middle, just out of the reach of Truong.
So staying with that reverse stack for Pooler and Whitwell.
That one off the net in an unlucky fashion. Sends it long. It's going to be 4-7-2 here for Whitwell's serve.
4-7-2.
Ooh, that was
Shelby
ambitious.
goes to the ATP, but
She didn't even get anything around it.
I was waiting for the shape.
Yeah, there was
And it
no
never
shape.
came.
It just was flat down the line.
Yeah.
She's laughing about it, too, because she knew she didn't get around it.
that forehand left short.
Yeah, again, a slow-paced ball by Truong. We always talk about it's not always the power is good to have, but the positioning and sometimes pace and spin, taking it off and adding.
Truong getting into a firefight and with the win.
See, now that's the difference, right? Truong just did it straight to Kady, and Kady shakes the fingers. She's like, no, 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 we don't do that. Whereas Kady turns around, does it away from the opponents.
Ball just wide from Lee Whitwell cross court right there. Bates and Truong will add to their lead.
They're up 8-5 in this first game.
Yeah. 9-5-1.
9-5, excuse me, 9-5-1.
That's too good there from Kady Pooler. You watch her just, it's set up by the ball, first ball before that, where she runs inside out, runs around that forehand, flips cross court, and then she does the exact same move, holds it on her paddle, gets Truong leading on her left foot, and then flips that ball through the middle.
Bates leaving that one short, forcing the side out here. Ball back to Pooler and Whitwell. They're trailing 5-9 in this first game.
Ooh, had a wide open sideline right there.
It's almost too open.
Well, I think that was the issue, right? You're not expecting it to be that open. You go right for the line. Ooh, 7-9.
7-9 exactly, as we see Whitwell and Pooler cutting into Truong and Bates' lead here with their serve.
7-9-1.
Nice shape on that drive. I mean, that was heavy, heavy topspin. You saw Pooler really get the paddle head underneath that one and accelerate through, and it was almost like she was up at the kitchen with a reach-in topspin volley, right, with how much shape it had on it.
But I think the key there, too, with that drive was that typically you see the opening, right? So you're going to go for the opening. She went to where Shelby Bates was at the moment, whereas when Shelby Bates was continuing to move, now it's outside of her reach. Instead of going to her body in the opening, she goes beside her, and again, like you said, Chad, such good shape on it and dip to it, she couldn't do anything with it.
Could not indeed, and so here we are, Pooler and Whitwell just 1 point away from tying this up. The closest this match has been since the score was 4-3 in favor of Bates and Truong. So Pooler and Whitwell clawing their way back into it. The crowd here in Sacramento starting to fill in underneath those APP tents, stay out of the sun as much as they possibly can. And of course, that is what we're playing for, the right to hoist the trophy on Championship Sunday. Both these teams looking to do that here. Pooler and Whitwell with the serve. They're trailing 8-9 to Shelby Bates and Alix Truong. This has been a fantastic match so far, and the energy here is so much fun. Pooler and Whitwell just bringing it with every point in response to Bates and Truong.
Yeah, someone over in the stands
said no, right?
No, like that ball was out. And
puts us at 8-9-2.
Oh. Well, she couldn't stop her momentum from moving.
Throw out the parachute.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a side out for Bates and Truong with the 9-8 lead here in game one.
9-8-1.
Good move. Oh, double fist pumps on that one. Good move there from Truong.
Sets him up for game point here on championship court. Shelby Bates with the serve. Truong leaves her
drop.
Softer ball.
Drop.
A little bit short.
Yeah, third shot drop. That's
third
right.
shot drop.
Yeah.
A little bit short.
Yeah. Just throw the terminology out there for you.
Unfortunate on the unforced error there from Whitwell. Game one will go to Bates and Truong. Whitwell not happy.
As we can understand, as they drop game one to Bates and Truong, they get it done. Bates and Truong 11-8 in this first game. We've got game two when we come back.
We all love pickleball because it's a sport you can play with the whole family, and now the little ones can play too. Introducing the Ben Johns Junior Paddle and the Megalodon Paddle that both feature smaller grips, lightweight and durable construction, and a fun design that the kids are going to love.
As we take another look here at the Sunmed recovery moment of the match with the round the post from Kady Pula, letting that one develop and just going right on the right shoe of Alix Truong.
And Truong and Bates getting the win in that first game. Whitwell with our first serve of game two. Quick side out to start us off with game two here.
I don't know if Whitwell almost threw off Pula right there. She came across and almost took a half swing at that ball.
1-0-1. Second serve.
Bates here with the second serve.
1-0-2.
Whitwell speeding it up right into the feet of Shelby Bates.
She put that ball to the forehand side of Alix Truong. She knew what Truong was going to do before Truong did. She moved to the middle and was like, oh, I can't wait for her to speed this up here in the middle. And she did, and just sitting on it.
But that's part of that anticipation, right, rather than reaction. If she tries to react to that speed up, Truong's got to beat. But she's knowing that ball isn't going to beat her on the backhand side if she speeds it up.
The speed up from Whitwell, too much.
Yeah,
Strong.
Excellent step over from Lee Whitwell there. She recognizes that Pula is going to speed up with that quick forehand flick again, and she's there to keep the pressure on.
Oh, no, Whitwell wants that back. What a setup from Pula right there. Nice little forehand drive. Sets up Whitwell nice in the middle, but she goes off the tape.
Oh, Whitwell ran into it. Good spot from Bates. I don't think that ball's staying in, but again, she's knowing that Whitwell's going to try to come over and close that hole there. Pula was there too. Whitwell, I think this is the most that we've ever seen Whitwell try to poach and crash. Kind of doing a little too much right now.
And on that one, Kady Pooler making sure that everybody knew.
I ain't getting in the way of that right now. No way.
A little scary right there. I'm backing away.
I told you, I'm not messing with it. What hands from Kady Pooler right there just to get that ball back over here on the speed up.
I'm surprised they didn't go middle, though, with how quickly Pooler moved to try to open up that inside-out forehand. Left a really big hole in the middle.
Truong trying to smash an overhead winner, but Pooler ready for it, and Bates' response just catching the net, unluckily for her. Pooler getting ready with the serve.
That time it went middle.
And neither Pooler or
we had a
Whitwell
semi-snipe right there.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think Pooler was expecting Whitwell to come over because she has the past like 3 or 4 points.
Bates forcing the side out with the ball right at the feet of Kady Pooler, just not able to respond.
1-2-1.
Good spot there from Pooler. Truong outstretched and down at the feet.
1-2-2.
That one too long, and Kady Pooler knew it immediately. Immediately said, okay.
She got a little hug, too, from Lee Whitwell. It was great point construction from Pooler, but pulled the trigger just a little too early there.
Yes. 2-2-2.
Yeah, good move there from Bates. Getting big in the middle. 2 good forehands, putting the pressure on.
3-2-2 here at Championship Court.
Again, that's the Lee Whitwell anticipation. Before Bates even hits this ball, she's pinching middle. We got a great vantage point of it from where we're sitting. You saw her move before Bates hits that and is able to finish on the forehand.
2-3-1.
Good spot there from Truong. Pooler trying to get up quickly to that kitchen line, but overruns that ball just a little bit.
Well, that's not a bad idea there from Pooler, but again, off a hot ball like that, it's very tough to slow that up and drop that in.
3-2-1.
Truong finding a perfect spot. Whitwell getting out of the way, thinking it was going out, but Truong drops it in.
Well, again, it's Truong reading the anticipation of Whitwell. Whitwell pinching middle a little too much. All she's got to do is flip that backside.
Kady Pooler finishing the miss with a dance.
Little shuffle.
I like the dance move, though. You shake it off. That's how she's going to shake it off right there, but it is a little too much. Bates and Truong now with a 5-2 lead.
And And so the timeout is called after Bates and Truong took game 1, and they lead here 5-2 in game 2. Whitwell and Pooler getting a minute to recover, have some strategy conversation. Bates and Truong, of course, trying to just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, they've gained a 3-point lead here, an advantage in game number 2. Doing exactly what they did in game number 1 to finish that. They're playing a little slower, which is good for them, and then waiting for those moments to attack. And so when they're getting those moments, they're attacking at the right moment. You see Truong has gone behind Whitwell a couple times right now because she's anticipating that move in the middle. Now it's about what Pooler and Whitwell can do on the opposite side and see what they can do to counter what Bates and Truong are doing.
You see everybody making sure they get their water, towel off okay, because it is an 89-degree day here in Sacramento.
Doesn't feel like I haven't sweated at all.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and believe you.
Oh, that might have been the best noise that's ever come out of you right there.
We're going to go ahead and believe that. I'll let you at home think that that's a true statement that Chad Edwards just made. You're welcome, buddy.
Truong just a little late on that one. A little too big of a backswing on the forehand side.
Pooler trying a couple times to go that cross-court forehand, but into the net, and now Bates and Truong in control.
I think that might be my new objective, is to get to sound like a duck again.
Keep saying ridiculous things. I'll make ridiculous sounds. I don't know what to tell you. Bates leaving that one short. So it's going to go back to Pooler and Whitwell after the side out. They trail 2-6-1 here in game 2.
Yeah. Oh, that one just catches the line. I was about to say, nice drive from Pooler. But Bates able to get a paddle on it. So we take another look at it here. Yeah, just inside the sideline.
That's just, as soon as she hit it, she was walking off court, trying to regroup right here. She knew as soon as it was off her paddle, it wasn't the right decision.
Just a little too strong there for Alix Truong. 3-6-2. Kady Pooler serving.
Oh.
Bates laughing at that one as she sends it a little long and says, that's a little ambitious. It was.
She needed about one more inch on that paddle because she gets it right off the edge guard.
Pooler turns that one over too quickly. Dips down into the net.
That is a good answer, though, from Pooler and Whitwell. They get 2 back. Whitwell questioning referee right now.
Oh, questioning the paddle.
So they're talking, Whitwell is talking about how it sounds funny, her paddle. And Chad, you and I talked with Shelby yesterday, and she showed us all of her paddles, and they all sound the same.
Yeah, it's a 10-millimeter paddle, so it has a different sound to the 14s and the 16s. Mm-hmm. A good spot there from Truong. Oh, sorry. From Pooler.
Oh, and that time it was Whitwell seeing the open sideline and taking advantage of it.
Bates almost gets there and runs this down. She slips behind Truong here.
Yeah, that ball's inside the sideline. Good shape again. That heavy top spin from Pooler.
It's a nice 3-0 run here from Pooler and Whitwell.
5-6-1 the score.
And when you're on a run like that, that's the last thing you need to do with your third shot is go into the net. You better make a mistake higher than lower and force them into something rather than just going into the net.
Yeah, good step over from Truong there. Whitwell's like, I've let 3 balls go and the ball landed it.
All right, it is a great move there from Truong as she saw that Bates was on her heels and in trouble. She comes over and helps her partner out and takes that ball out of the middle. But Pooler and Whitwell answer again, put another one on the board, and now we're within 1.
Pooler with the forehand winner and then shake of her head saying, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to let that go. 6-5-2, but the serve from Bates goes long, so it's going to be a side out here. Pooler and Whitwell with a chance to tie this game up for the first time since the score was a pair of 2s.
5-6-1.
Not on that one, though. Pooler leaving it just short.
It's such a good drive, and she's got the right idea with that, but just tries to cut it a little too much. She just got to drop that back in and get right back into the point.
Oh, I think the movement of Whitwell kind of threw her off for a little bit there as well. You spoke about it in a previous point where Whitwell is looking to come over, but at times it throws off Pooler.
6-5-1.
That's a volley right there. She takes that ball out of the air and just cuts it straight down at the feet of Truong.
6-5-2.
6-5-2.
Truong finding that sweet spot in the middle to have just that half second of confusion between Whitwell and Pooler.
Well, Pooler just fed Truong on the backhand side right there. That's the exact ball that she was looking for.
Whitwell with the strong angle, perfect angle on that overhead winner, forces the side out. Pooler serving, 5-7-1.
Yeah, tough ball there from Pooler. Tough to hit a good ball with that open face from being that low as well. Floats up and feeds that forehand of Truong.
5-7-2. Side out.
And the third shot there, left short by Whitwell.
7-5-1.
Great read there from Bates. Again, Pooler reaching in just a little too far. Can't really get that ball low. Bates recognizes early, steps in, takes that forehand out of the air for the finish.
8-5-1 your score here on Championship Court as we have a timeout. Here in Game 2, Bates and Truong with the lead. They took Game 1, trying to end things here in Game 2. If you're Whitwell and Pooler, what do you have to do to get back into this one?
Well, I think for this one is they're trying to do just a little too much and not quite extending the point or lengthening it out. I think they've got to move Bates and Truong around a little bit more to try to open up that hole. Whereas right now they're trying to hit through. They're not creating enough movement to develop anything right now. So I'd like to see them extend the points a little bit longer.
Yeah, and like you said, Chad, moving them side to side and then letting Whitwell step in that middle and take that ball away. That was what got them back in Game 1, got them back into Game 2 a little earlier. But again, it's got to be Whitwell in the middle there taking over a little bit more.
So the women's doubles match happening as we speak here on Championship Court between Kady Pooler and Lee Whitwell. They dropped game 1 to Shelby Bates and Alix Truong. Bates and Truong with the lead here in game 2, up 8-5. 1, Bates with the serve.
Oh, the miscommunication on the uncoil from the stack. And I'm not sure Pooler or Whitwell, one or the other, made a mistake there.
That's the right ball to speed up, but it has to be top spin. It's got to be a brush. You can't try to be so aggressive with that one and come out.
Match point on the paddle of Shelby Bates. And that will do it. Shelby Bates and Alix Truong get the best of Kady Pooler and Lee Whitwell in straight games. 11-8, 11-5. Those two are moving on in the winner's bracket, sending Pooler and Whitwell into the consolation bracket to fight their way back, try to earn another game here on Championship Court. We're going to talk to the winners, Shelby Bates and Alix Truong, when we come back.
We'll take another look at match point here for Shelby Bates and Alix Truong. Coming out just too strong today for Pooler and Whitwell. Definitely controlling the points as they're going through. And we're going to throw it down to Dominic Catalano, who's courtside with Bates and Truong.
All right, ladies, great job out there today. Again, moving on to the semifinals. When you guys are going against a team that you know very well like that, and they're covering the middle so well, what was your game plan there, Shelby?
Honestly, just build the point, take our time, and then look for the high balls and take advantage and stay on those balls.
And Alix, just like Shelby said, building points. I saw your guys' first match on the outer courts. You guys came back down 10-5 in game 1 in that match. Was that a difference maker for you here in this match as well?
I think so. Shelby and I, this is our first time playing together. I mean, she has good game analytics, and so when she says, here's the strategy, let's stick to it, I got to stick to it. I got to listen to her. I got to trust her. She tells me to trust my shots, and both our shots were pretty on that match. I felt great.
All right, well, congratulations, ladies. Moving on to the semifinals. Next match up here on Championship Court, coming at you shortly, right after this quick break. You don't want to miss it.